Paris Fashion Week is supposed to be about the clothes, the drama, the spectacle. But this season, all anyone could talk about wasn't what was on the runway, it was who was sitting in the front row, and more importantly, who wasn't. A 13-year-old girl, surrounded by flashing cameras and pushing crowds, became the center of a firestorm that has nothing to do with fashion and everything to do with safety, boundaries, and a very uncomfortable question. So where were the parents? Let's rewind. North West, eldest daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, arrived at the Vetements Menswear Spring-Summer 2027 show. She was rocking her signature blue hair, bold accessories, and faux face piercings, but almost immediately videos started surfacing online that made people's stomachs drop. In one clip, a man approaches North. She extends her hand for a handshake, a clear, polite boundary, but the man ignores it, pulling her into a hug instead. In another clip, a different adult male drapes his arm over her shoulder, and she appears visibly rigid, her body language screaming discomfort. The internet didn't just notice, it erupted. One of the loudest voices came from an unexpected corner, UK rapper Skepta. He took to X and didn't hold back. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, "My fans know I stay out of people's business, but damn the way grown men, complete strangers, try to use North makes me sick." When someone online tried to downplay it, asking if hugging was now a social offense, Skepta shut it down immediately. He pointed out the obvious. She extended her hand for a handshake. She is 13. You don't ignore that boundary. He ended his rant with a simple but powerful plea to the parents. Now, this raises a pretty big question. Why was this even a situation? Why is a 13-year-old left to navigate a room full of adults on her own? It turns out Kim was back in Los Angeles celebrating her sister Chloe's birthday. Meanwhile, Kanye and his wife Bianca Censori were about 10 miles away from Paris at his own birthday bash, and in their absence, North was left primarily in the care of Danielle Levy, Kim's stylist. Look, let's be real. Kim has famously said she nurtures North's individuality, that she lets her express herself. But watching that clip, seeing that handshake ignored, the internet is asking a very specific question. Where is the adult supervision? There's a bitter irony here. Kanye West and Bianca Censori, the people constantly villainized in the media, showed up later in Paris to be with her. It was a moment that sparked a lot of conversation, the bad guys coming to save the day. But this isn't just about one trip to Paris, it's a pattern. Rewind a few months. Playboi Carti posted on Instagram asking if North could send him a song. Kanye responded publicly, and he made it clear North would not be recording with Carti. He said it was too far. Given Carti's past legal troubles, including a 2022 arrest for domestic violence allegations involving his then-pregnant girlfriend, fans were actually relieved. They wondered why there was even talk of a 12-year-old working with Playboi Carti in the first place. Or take the infamous Kanye rant, where he publicly begged Kim to stop putting North on TikTok without his approval. He felt like his daughter was being used as a pawn. At the time, the internet mostly called him crazy, but with these latest clips surfacing and seeing North looking overwhelmed in Paris, a lot of people are suddenly revisiting his concerns. One source close to the situation noted that some people close to Kanye love Kim, but feel that not enough is being done to keep adults away from North. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that, especially when you remember that Kanye has been on a one-man mission to keep his daughter from being destroyed by the industry he knows so well. He was angry when she was styled with fake piercings and heavy makeup at 11 years old, saying it was too much. Now, I'm not a parenting expert, but if a 13-year-old is looking visibly uncomfortable in front of cameras, and the person who raised the alarm is Skepta, not her parents, maybe, just maybe, we need to ask the tough questions. Who is telling these grown men they have a right to put their hands on this kid? Because it is very clear that North doesn't think they do. The conversation has exploded online. Viewers have noted that North often looks sad at these events. One heartbreaking comment said she's been thrown to the wolves and doesn't seem excited. It seems like she is being treated as a brand asset rather than a child. And that brings us to the present. With North now set to go on a 14-date tour with rapper Molly Santana, one has to wonder, is this going to get worse before it gets better? So I have to ask you, is Kim being negligent, or are people just overreacting? And do you think Kanye is the only one who's actually trying to set boundaries here? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because if a child can't even control who touches her, maybe the system around her is broken. Let's talk about it.